So this is a video to help you learn to draw a food web like a pro. Sometimes you need to draw a food web from a series of facts that you've been given, and there are a series of steps that you can take to make it easier. Firstly, you need to identify the producers. I suggest you underline them or highlight them. So for example, here with a green highlighter, let's highlight the producers. You need to initially work in rough, make a rough sketch of it and use a pencil because sometimes we want to place something somewhere differently. Point 3, place the producers at the bottom of your paper. So always start low and make your food web move upwards. Point number 4, try to place all the primary consumers in the level above the producers. So each organism in its level, then there are the next level up and then the next level up. Try and keep the levels very clear and specified. Place each consumer so that as few arrows as possible cross over each other. That's why you might need sometimes to redo it when you realise that you need to move one organism somewhere else so the arrows don't cross. Point number 6, draw your arrows in a straight line, usually with a ruler. No wiggly arrows, please. Obviously, if you are drawing it on an iPad, then I understand it might not be with a ruler, but usually we would draw them with a ruler. And finally, number 7, if an organism occupies 2 trophic feeding levels, then put it in the higher level. So let's get started on our example. We're going to draw an ocean food web. And here are the series of instructions. We've got these ones here, and then we've got a set of extension ones here. So I'm going to reduce these down slightly so we can fit them all in. Okay, so step number 1 is to identify the producers. So you're going to take your highlighter or your pen and you're going to underline or highlight the producers. So let's read through. Phytoplankton is a tiny plant that carries out photosynthesis. Okay, that's a very good clue. This is a producer. Phytoplankton. Zooplankton are tiny animals that eat the phytoplankton. Okay, so that tells me the zooplankton are the primary consumers, or one of them. Fish eat the zooplankton. Okay, so I'm starting to think of a chain in my mind there. Krill are eaten by blue whales and fish. Okay, there's a repeat of fish. So I'm seeing blue whales and fish eating krill. Fish are then eaten by seagulls. The leopard seal eats both fish and seagulls. Krill eats phytoplankton and seaweed. Ah, there's another producer, seaweed there. Let's underline that phytoplankton again. And the leopard seals are eaten by killer whales. Okay, good. So we'll leave the extension to in a moment. So now what we want to do is try and identify our primary consumers. So these are the ones that are eating the plants, eating the producers. So we worked out in that second sentence that zooplankton eat the phytoplankton. So there's one example of a primary consumer. So I'm looking now for anything else that eats phytoplankton. I can't see anything there. And we also had seaweed. Krill eats oh yes, here we go, phytoplankton. The krill is eating the phytoplankton and the seaweed. So there we go. So in this case now we have 2 primary consumers. I'm just going to make a little key for myself here. So that's my primary consumer. That's my. So I'm going to put producer. Primary consumer here. Okay, so let's have a think now. What is eating the primary consumers? So let's start with the zooplankton. What is eating zooplankton? So here it says fish eat zooplankton. Is there anything else eating zooplankton? I can't see anything there. Our primary consumers were krill and zooplankton. So let's see now what's eating the krill. So Here we go. Krill are eaten by blue whales and fish. There's the fish again. Blue whales and fish. Okay, so now we've got our secondary consumers. Secondary consumers. I want to now find out the tertiary consumers. So these will be the ones that are eating the blue whales and the fish. So fish are eaten by, here we go, something eating a secondary consumer. Fish are eaten by seagulls. There we go. Let's see if fish are eaten by anything else. Leopard seal eats the fish. Hold on. A leopard seal eats both fish and seagulls. So the fish are here they are a secondary consumer, and the seagulls are a tertiary consumer. So that means that the leopard seal is eating both secondary and tertiary consumers. So that will put him, therefore, on the level above the seagulls. So seagull is tertiary, T-E-R-T-I-A-R-Y, tertiary consumer. And that means that the level above that, quaternary consumer, must be the leopard seal. Quaternary consumer. Okay. So then the leopard seal is eaten by killer whales. Right, well, I don't seem to have another coloured pen here. So I'm just going to underline killer whales here with my pencil, and that must be the top consumer in that part there. Okay, so I think we should make a start. So I'm going to move the paper to the side here so that I can fit in my food web here. And we want to start the food web fairly far down the page so that you can move upwards from the first level of producers down here. So we're looking now for our producers, and they were in the green, so they were phytoplankton and seaweed. So let's write down here phytoplankton and seaweed. So now we're looking for our primary consumers. What eats the phytoplankton? Back here, zooplankton are tiny animals that eat phytoplankton. So zooplankton is eating the phytoplankton here. And then here, krill eats phytoplankton and seaweed. So if I pop krill here, it's eating phytoplankton and it's eating seaweed. So there we go, we've got the start to our food web with our producers here and our primary consumers in the level up. Let's look now for secondary consumers. Fish eat zooplankton and krill are eaten by blue whales and fish. Okay, so we've got fish eating the zooplankton and krill are eaten by the fish and also by blue whales. There we are. So now we have our secondary consumers done. Now fish go on to be eaten by seagulls. It says seagulls here, and then it says that the leopard seal eats both fish and seagulls. Now if you have a look here, fish is in this level here of secondary consumers. Seagulls are in the tertiary consumers. So it says the leopard seal eats the seagulls, so it's above the seagulls. Here. But it also eats the fish. So I need to add another arrow here to show that. And then finally it says leopard seals are eaten by killer whales. Let's pop in our killer whale. Right up the top there in the primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, the fifth consumer level. Okay, So let's go on to look at our extension now. So it says here, seaweed, which was our producer, is also eaten by crabs. Let's just check if there are any other producers down here. Killer whale, leopard seals, penguin, no. Crab, squid, squid, penguin, elephant seals, leopard seals, penguins, no. So we're done with the producers. So seaweed is also eaten by crabs. So crabs must therefore be a primary consumer. Okay, so then we have our crab, I can see down here, is eaten by squid. So that tells me that squid is going to be a secondary consumer. Then we have our squid, it says, is then eaten by penguins and elephant seals. So they must be tertiary consumers. So let's put those to penguins and elephant seals here. And it says that the leopard seals eat penguins. So that would suggest, we've already got our leopard seal in here. So that would suggest that the leopard seal is a level above a penguin. And then it says the killer whale eats the leopard seals and the penguins and the elephant seals. Okay, let's have a go. So seaweed is also eaten by crab, primary consumer. Crab is eaten by squid. Okay, that's nice and easy. Then we have the squid being eaten by two consumers, penguin and elephant seals. So it also tells me that the leopard seals eat penguins. So seeing as the leopard seals are over here, if I put here elephant seals and penguins, then it's not easy for me to get from the penguins here. So I'm going to put my penguin this side and my elephant seal this side. So in line with the level here, primary, secondary, tertiary, I'm going to go from the squid being eaten by penguin here, and whoops, not leopard seal, elephant seals. Good job I got a pencil and rub it out. Elephant seal here, and then it says leopard seals eat the penguins, so that links into the leopard seal here. And finally this sentence here, the killer whale eats the leopard seal. We've already got that in there. He also eats penguins and elephant seals. Penguins and elephant seals. So there we have it. A professional food web. Hopefully no arrows crossing, and with an effort to try to keep all of the organisms in a level with their trophic feeding level. Good luck, I hope yours goes really well. So now you know how to draw a food web, you're going to have a go yourself, and you're going to do it in the application called Classkick, and it's set up in the assignment. You just click on the link and then sign in with your name, and then follow the instructions. Now, if you need some help with how to work Classkick, then I have added a video how to work Classkick, and you will be able to do things like put your hand up in the lesson to ask your teacher a question if it's during the lesson time, and they can see everything you're doing in real time, so they can help you. So have a great lesson, have a great fun drawing your food web and then answering the questions, and we really look forward to seeing all your work.